Hey, once this is the S8 Ultra smartwatch, which is basically a Apple Watch Ultra knockoff. This one I bought from Temu. Mine was only $12 for a lightning deal. There's a whole bunch of this watch with the same name but with a little bit different styles to them. A crazy amount of different ones. Some I have wireless charging on them. Others like mine do not. Mine has this little cradle thing, which is kind of goofy looking and has super short cable to it. But some actually have like the wireless charger, like you would get with the actual Apple Watches. Uh, and I thought mine had that, but it did not apparently. So there are a crazy amount of different ones of this watch, but they all have basically the same functionality from what I can tell here. So I'm gonna go over that. So first things first, looking at the watch. Again, there are a few different colors as well. Mine is more of a gray, like very dark gray or black. I'm just gonna call it black. Look, color to it. And I think its watch actually looks really nice and actually feels really nice in the hand as well. It doesn't feel like a $12 watch. Like I also bought this cheap one, which is the S8 series or S9 series from Temu. This feels and looks like a cheap watch. This one actually looks pretty good. And if you were to get the actual color the Apple Watches are, people might actually mistake this for one until they look at it. So we have like the action button on the side here. It does have the speakers here, or the holes for it, or whatever. Or the mic. I'm not even sure what that is. But I don't think it actually does anything, from what I can tell. You do have this two buttons on the side here. Again, this is orange, and that is orange as well, just like on the Apple Watches. And then this dial actually does work. So I'll turn this on real fast. So you can switch through 4 different watch faces. We'll cover those real fast since we're on here. So you have this one, which looks like the Apple Watch Ultra. Get back on. You have this horse one, which there's 2 different ones for it. And then you have this one, which looks like the Apple Watch again. And then you have this funky, am I going back to it? This funky looking one here as well, which is pretty cool. Clicking in, well, here, let's keep looking at this. The back of it does have a heart rate sensor on it, SpO2 sensor on it, and it is legitimate. There are these 4 small ones here, are for sure sensors. You guys can see here on there, heart rate, water resistant. I don't know what the water resistance is. I wouldn't really trust that though. Multiple sport modes. So like that is cool. Like it's a very nice actually looking watch for $12. And everything on here does do some sort of function. So going back into here, so let's go over the UI. Swiping down, it does turn itself off after 6 seconds. You can change that. Swiping down here gives you, so like your phone, find your phone. This does the display, or sorry, app on that one. This does the display style, brightness, and then there we go. So and then if you swipe that way at any point, it will go back to, it will go back basically. Swiping up here will give you to your messages, no more news, along with the time there. Swiping this way, you have your weather, your phone, your heart rate, sensor, music controls, which is pretty cool, and then settings. When we go into settings, we have about, we have language, coded lock, so you can lock it up if you want to. Date, time, your brightness, your backlight, how long it's on for. Let's go ahead and turn that to 15 seconds so it quits turning off. Vibration intensity. There are some differences in them. Reset and then shut down. So and then if any time you hit this button, it does go back as well if the screen's on. And I should mention too, you do not actually need your phone to use this watch as a watch or for almost anything on here. You don't really actually need your phone app. You can download it, but you don't have to. Like mine turned on right away and it was working right away without the phone app. The phone app just, of course, lets you, control music from your phone or from the watch from your phone, as well as get messages and stuff. But we'll come back to the app in a few moments here. But yeah, you don't actually have to use the app whatsoever. All right, let's go back into this. And you hit any of these buttons to turn on the screen. I will give you this kind of like always on display look to it. Tap it, it'll turn on all the way. It does the same thing once on your wrist. Hitting the action button here will turn on the different sport modes. You have walking, running, cycling, hiking, skipping, which is different, basketball, badminton, and ping pong even. There's no GPS on here, so it's not going to be the most accurate of things, but it does have them. Swiping to the left, you have your steps, you have your distance, your calories, and see a little ring there. Heart rate, blood pressure on this one, SpO2 on this one. So it does also have the blood pressure. I'm not sure how accurate any of this is. This is, again, a cheap watch. Your sleep score. I did not wear it to bed last night, so I don't know how I got any of this, but apparently the table slept pretty well. Weather, and then back home. Tapping and holding doesn't do anything. Let's go ahead and flip this over again. There is no actual, like on the Apple Watches, there's a little button thing here, which they have I'm just gonna call it a sticker. It's not actually a sticker, but it's in the watch itself. But it's nothing. It's just a look to it. These just slide in and out. The one it comes with, which is the one I have on here now for this specific one, does take a little bit of force. So it's not going to go anywhere. You can put in other Apple Watch bands on here, but those you might actually end up losing your watch with because they're not as tight. Again, depends on the watch band itself. Some watch bands just slide in and out like super easy. Other ones are kind of like this, where they're tight. The watch band itself is actually rather nice. It's the Ocean band for this. Again, this particular one I have here is nice black Ocean band. It feels rather good. And you can, of course, move this all around just like you could with the actual Apple Watches. Just more of the cheaper style of this little bit here. But as a watch goes, it's actually not bad. The app it uses is this Q Running. This has terrible ratings. It's like 2.7 star online or on the App Store, at least through Android here. Again, you have your steps, your target steps for the day, how far you've gone, the time you've been exercising, calories. Then you see different things here: sleep, heart rate, sport, heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen, which would be SpO2. It will log all that stuff. You have your device here. So mine is connected to it. You can find it. So it does work. Alarm, photograph, which I don't really know what that does. Which I don't know why I just said that, because it takes picture like that, which is pretty cool. Then you have a bunch of different settings here. So you can change the watch face on here as well. But again, there's not too many of them. You can get more, it looks like. You have all these different ones. So that is pretty cool. Actually, it's really cool. There's quite a few here. Again, this is the one I bought is $12. Again, it was a lightning deal, so it's actually more expensive than that. But it wasn't very expensive whatsoever. It's only like 20 or 30 bucks. A whole bunch of different notifications here. Heart rate, again, audio heart rate. Target settings. Sanitary reminder, drink reminder, do not disturb, and sync contacts on there as well. And then here is your kind of personal information. Lift the screen. So do this, and it'll turn on the screen. You have your Google Fit if you want to connect it to that. Again, your timeout on there. You have your time format, which we want to change ours to 12-hour. Metric, we're going to go to Imperial, because I'm in the US. And then your firmware stuff, restore, and about the watch itself. So, I mean, I don't know why this only has 2-point-some stars. It isn't that bad. I mean, it's actually pretty decent. Again, for how cheap this watch is, this app is actually not that bad, but only got like 2-point-some stars. But you can do actually quite a bit of stuff on here. You can, again, log all this stuff as well. Like, for instance, I went into the steps here. And if we go back to yesterday, I only wore it for a tiny bit. It does show you like how many steps you took. Again, I only wore it for maybe 20 minutes yesterday, if that. I just wanted to check out the steps and everything. So I didn't wear it that long, but it does count your stuff, which is pretty cool, and it keeps track of it all. So again, I wouldn't say it's a terrible app. It just isn't as good of an app as, say, Apple would have or Samsung would have. But again, for this cheap of a watch, not bad. All in all, I think this is a pretty cool watch. If you want a watch that's also like a pedometer, you know, it might not be the most accurate of things, but really no watch is 100% accurate anyway. I think this thing is pretty legit. Again, for the price I paid, and you can spend like $20, $30 for ones that are also on sale on Temu. And you get a little bit of a nicer watch as well, like wireless charging and stuff, not this stupid dinky tiny charger. But all in all, this is pretty legitimate. I actually would recommend this if you just need a watch. That's a watch, really. And you want one that looks kind of like an Apple Watch. It's pretty cool. And again, it feels actually rather good. And it looks actually rather good. I mean, people at my work were like, well, yeah, it's a nice looking watch. I mean, for $12, not bad. Y'all let me know what you think. I would recommend it. Again, it's not going to be anything near like an Apple Watch or a Garmin or something like that. But for a basic pedometer smartwatch, not bad. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.